Second semifinals for finals day here at StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational. It is 1-up in favor of Fnatic, and OpTic will have the chance of making a comeback here in the second game. It is going to be a tough one. I mean, even if we do just forget about the last 50 minutes or so of that previous game, which was 70 minutes long, it was Fnatic that was ahead the whole time. And
Sure.
that was not the way that OpTic obviously was planning on having this game go. So how are they going to change their laning stage? Because I think that's where it all started.
But that's why I think I can't recall another 1-0 lead where I've felt as good about the position of the team that's behind, because we've seen OpTic make this adjustment. This is exactly where they got tripped up in the second game of their series against Kingwin on Thursday. They made that adjustment, focused their draft in the second game on the laning matchups, and came back and were fine. You start with the lanes, and the rest of the game will unfold as it does.
I think the lanes were all right. Maybe if they played the same matchup, the outcome could have been a bit different in favor of OpTic. Maybe we could blame it on the rotations from the supports. If they rotated maybe in a better manner, it could have been a bit different. They pretty much got crushed in all three lanes.
And it was not just, like, you can't really pin it on one hero, right? It was not specifically a drafting.
I think maybe it is a thing that you do as a team. You talk about the lanes, and you talk a little bit about early rotations during the draft. So it might have played a role that at the very end, they ended up, I think they were planning on having DK be offlane most of the draft. They ended up shifting Puck into the offlane after the last pick TA to dodge that laning matchup. So maybe that played a role with a little bit of last minute change up in the lanes. But yeah, you need to execute better, as Lacoste was saying.
Yeah, when I mentioned that they should have rotated better, I meant considering the draft they had. I don't feel the draft was bad. I just think the execution was not the best early.
Well, let's see if they can do better this time. We have another Naga Siren on the side of Fnatic. They themselves ban out the Witch Doctor, by the way, and we are kicking things off here with Universe's Beastmaster.
Again, with two Vision heroes opening, Naga Siren is such a hard hero to play against. Position 5 Naga, where she gives the Vision, always have that spell to cancel the fight, provides you the Roche capability, which I personally think it's OP. You should sleep Roshan as well. And Beastmaster with his Vision, Helm of the Dominator, Hawk. It's going to be a tough game to play from OpTic. They're going to need a good Vision hero for themselves. Probably, I would say, how they already picked a Tusson, maybe a Night Stalker. Could go to the offlane. It's one of the good heroes to get rid of the enemy Vision.
Yeah, Razor can also have, as a core, some difficulty dealing with these summon strats like we saw from Fnatic last night. And any long game like we saw in the previous set, a hidden factor in that is always that the team that's ahead is having trouble controlling the lane equilibrium. And Beastmaster gives you a lot more control over that as the game goes on. He's an excellent split pusher, lets you make sure that those other lanes are in your favor so that split pushing morphling isn't always going to force you to make these trades.
They're going to need one more catch hero on the side of OpTic. I don't think Tusk will be enough. That's not kind of a reliable stun that I'm looking into. Maybe something like a Disruptor should be all right against Beastmaster, Naga Siren. And this is the hero that both teams love to play Visage as well. We didn't see him in game number 1. Gets banned in the second game.
Yeah, and the fact that OpTic does not ban out Disruptor is a good sign for them, indeed, picking that hero as well, as you do not want to face that with the Naga Siren combined.
And one of the things OpTic may have been thinking about even coming in, they took away the Visage via the ban, but they have to make Fnatic think twice about picking the Lone Druid just because of the presence of the Razor.
I was just about to mention the Lone Druid. That's what Fnatic loves to run, but against the Razor, it's not great hero.
So, previous game we had 6 Roshans, and OpTic was not able to get a single one of them, right?
Nope.
So, should they draft something that can deal better with Roshan as well? Should they try to, like, I don't think you ever plan a game to go 70 minutes long, but them having a better shot at taking
maybe
a
they
Roshan?
do when you play against
Maybe,
Eternal
yeah,
Envy.
maybe that, yeah, you want to have that plan B, but you want to also be able to take Roshan, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard to take the Roche. We'll need to take a fight before because of all the vision heroes that Fnatic has already.
And Song.
Hey,
I
that's a
mean,
Roshan hero,
Song
sort of.
is just... Song is the single best ability in the game around
Yeah.
the Roche pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underlord is still in the pool. Fnatic is not gonna pick it since they have a Beastmaster as their offlaner, but OpTic might.
Very much on the table for OpTic, and I would actually like that tempo-wise.
But I think we mentioned that we didn't see 33 play.
No,
The Underlord.
I
He
looked
plays.
I
you
looked at
it.
the dress, and he actually did play it the other day. Played it on the
Right.
first day of the tournament, and I think it's one of those heroes that, you know, after you watch DAC, even if it's not your favorite as a pro, you're probably going out and spamming that in pubs. So I think you're going to see a lot of Underlord players in the pro ranks, at least
Yeah.
until it gets nerfed in the next
I mean,
patch.
Yeah.
At this point, if you're an offlaner and you can't play Underlord, you're gonna have a problem.
Oh.
You're not gonna be on a good team.
No. All right, so Fnatic, they managed to pick up the Vengeful Spirit. We've seen Vengeful earlier this week. They actually got it played against them by Na'Vi.
And it's a flex pick for them. They will run Eternal Envy as a farming Venge in the tri-lane situation, and I like that a lot, especially with the high armor Naga Siren. She's one of the better melee heroes in a tri-lane situation. Also gives Beastmaster that 1v1 that most of the time he can excel at.
Maybe they're still considering the Lone Druid pick, just getting the Venge, which can be a carry or a support, and if they build around Lone Druid, I mean, Lone Druid's Bear takes all the damage from the Dead Prophet ulti, but can be easily static linked.
You know who I wish were still a hero? Winter Wyvern. I miss
Oh.
Winter Wyvern against the Aura strats. I always
That's a
liked
good
that
call.
pick, but it's just been so far out of favor.
I don't feel that hero is that weak. It just feels like it's underused because most of the teams just copy what others are doing.
Maybe, yeah. I still think it definitely, like, I actually really like the hero. And the last few times I've played it has felt not quite as imposing as it has in the past. But, you know, Winter's Curse just such a kind of a fun ability.
Yeah. Later on, that would be really great around the Roche pit as well.
Well.
But late game is great as well. But
Probably going to see some
not
more
the
here.
flavor of the month.
Rubik's still on the table.
Yes. He is, and we are looking for a PPD hero. We did play Rubik previous game.
As well as you could, just kind of looking ahead. Oh, the AA, okay. Nope, the AA
It's
got
banned
first
out.
banned, yep.
All right, it's a Dazzle.
I was thinking about Dazzle yesterday. I think someone posted on Reddit that he's such a garbage hero, and he's like 1%, has 1% win rate or something like that. But
That's very sad.
yeah, I
No,
mean,
he's got like he's in certain of the skill brackets. He has a 1% pub pick rate or something like that.
Yeah.
He just feels so defensive. The minus armor is nice, but the buff that he got in 7.1.2 was like to one of the worst skills in the game in Poison Touch. It just felt so pointless.
Poison Touch is so good in 2 versus 2 scenarios.
It's true.
If you want to run it, or in 3 versus 3, Dazzle then is really strong. But after he gets, let's say, level 3, he's not aggressive at all. He just
Right.
becomes fully defensive hero, and you don't want to skill more than 1 point in Poison Touch because your other skills are way too good not
So
to have them.
what's the logic in picking it up here? Why does it fit?
Oh, the double save for the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Snowball save, you got the Shallow Grave. She's going to get that full duration exorcism off in the middle of the fight, and it's not just about keeping her alive. Remember, much of the damage from exorcism comes from Death Prophet's positioning, her ability to stay next to those enemy heroes so that the ghosts can cycle back and forth.
Ooh, Avenge Weave.
Well, speaking of positioning, there you go.
Well, Dazzle with his ulti gives a lot of damage.
Minus armor.
Yeah, from the Dead Prophet, and all of Fnatic's lineup pretty much is based on minus armor and physical damage. Beastmaster, Axis, Venge, and Weaver as well.
Also, what's one of the first things we talked about? Roshan, right?
Yes.
Both of these
Yep.
lineups poised to contest Roshan continuously throughout the match.
That's the problem we see again. If you pick a Dazzle that has no control and you have a Tusk, which is hard to execute against some of the heroes this is the reason why they picked Weaver. They really have no lockdown. That Prophet provides silence and instant puck ban because they have nothing to control him with.
Right.
You kind of have to have something like a Sven on the side of OpTic or something, or at least a core with maybe another disable. Sven gives you that armor as well, might help out. But at the same time, he will probably get kited. So there's already a lot that can deal with that. And it's the brute that Fnatic ends up banning out.
They need a mid hero.
Who?
Fnatic.
Fnatic? Yeah, Fnatic
Yes.
definitely does.
Well, don't have to wait long for that one. It's a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, there again, more minus armor, more synergy with the double auras.
Yeah, and it's one of the best heroes you can get against that Prophet. She wants to be in the range to use the Spirit Siphon and needs to be careful about being triple raised.
And for Fnatic, once you see the Dazzle, you're not nearly as worried about the roaming potential. You know, the Tusk is going to threaten the mid lane somewhat, but Dazzle not a hero that's going to roam. And there you go. Both sides, really, in the last couple picks, the Weaver and the PL, looking at the other and saying not that much on the side of hard lockdown.
Do we like OpTic's chances here?
Dazzle and the Phantom Lancer is really good, especially in the mid game once the heal is maxed out with a lot of illusions. The heal bomb deals more than 1,000 damage, if my math is correct. But I think they have good ways to deal with those illusions, with just the Shadow Fiend and Beastmaster. A lot of auras. This is how Fnatic plays. They like to group up as 5, take early Roshans, 1, 2, 3,
Or late Roshans,
whatever
yes.
number you want to get. But I feel the Fnatic lineup is way too good.
All right.
I like OpTic here. I think that they've addressed the situation in the lanes. I think that they are going to have a very strong mid game with the ability to contest Roshan, and I just didn't like what I saw from Fnatic in game 1.
Even though they won.
Even though they won.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I will go for OpTic as well. I mean, the crowd is behind them. I feel like they've gotten enough motivation from that to maybe force out that third game. If that's going to happen, we're going to find out with Tsunami and OdPixel.
Thank you, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now between OpTic Gaming and Fnatic. And we've seen a bit of a change with the drafts. We are getting to see the Weaver through a hero that we don't really see too much. And then over on the side of OpTic, we're going to see the Dazzle, the PPD Dazzle. Something else that is not sort of at the top of the meta at the moment.
No, but on the side of late game potential, with evidently we're bound to reach, Weaver doesn't go as hard as Terrorblade this time. And on the side of OpTic Gaming, they've got a Phantom Lancer. So if the game does stretch, God forbid, OpTic Gaming are poised to be able to do it better. But Fnatic have proven that they are willing to end games earlier, especially whenever they pick this Beastmaster. Beastmaster, you've got Inner Aura.
Yeah.
There's really no reason not to push. There's no reason to not to take objectives early on. And Universe is always very, very... he's great at creating imperative that the enemy team is going to have to deal with whatever Beastmaster brings into the laning phase, because Universe is just very, very quick at getting Shadow Blades and causing chaos around the map.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where if we do see Fnatic get a sort of similar early lead as they were able to in game 1, they'll have the tools to sort of end the game earlier. But the question is if they are going to be able to get that advantage. I mean, they do have, looking at it, pretty strong lanes to start off with, but we'll see what sort of matchups end up getting forced by either of the sides.
Also, I don't know if you're listening to Haas, but I want you to tell me how many different heroes Abed has played this entire tournament, because I'm inclined to believe that I haven't seen him play the same hero twice a single time. I think this is the first Shadow Fiend we've seen from him in this tournament. He's played Kunkka, he's played Brood, he's played Visage. He's incredibly versatile, and he's really flexing it during this tournament.
Well, we'll see. It looks like it is going to be pretty standard stuff here from the lanes. Universe will go down towards the bottom on his own, and we'll have to deal with PPD and Pycat. We'll see if he gets much backup at all. It's actually going to be OpTic able to claim all 4 bounty runes to start this game.
Game over. That's it. Call next.
About an extra little bit of a gold burst to lead in with, and on top of that as well, PPD gets a D-Warp mid.
I'm curious what Adam was up to. He was sitting around in this Radiant jungle for a little bit, but I guess maybe trying to see where PPD was planning on planting his ward, but ends up finding out the Dire Observer and dealing quite a bit of damage, to be fair.
Yeah, PPD
He's got this windlace.
Taking quite a punch here, PPD. Will be able to get himself back to safety underneath the tier 1 tower bottom. Straight in with a quick heal onto PyCat, ready to try and back up this PL and make sure that PyCat can get the farm against the pressure of Universe's Beastmaster in lane.
Again, it's going to be this physical damage from the axes and the armor reduction from the Riptide lane that worked fairly well in Game 1 with the Pangolier Naga, and now again here in Game 2 with Beastmaster Naga. Though granted, PyCat is going to be able to dispel these debuffs with Doppelganger, but that seems to be the plan, is to just let Adam and Universe lane with each other for a while.
See the top lane. DJ have to TP himself actually away as a bit of an attempt was made there by Zion 33. We'll see how much pressure 33 can keep onto the EE Weaver up top. So at the moment, it looks like it's working out. He's got 5 for 4 on 33's Razor on that top lane and just the 1 CS on MV at the moment.
Yeah, Weaver's a difficult hero to make useful, especially against this Phantom Lancer, because Weaver is primarily a single target type hero. He can build into AoE damage. Occasionally we will see players go for things like Maelstrom, which can be taken advantage of due to the Geminate attack, but it's not very easy to deal damage in a team fight if you're not able to just stay stuck to one target.
I mean, yeah, 33 is having a absolutely amazing time in CS there. He's 9 for 7 against EE's 2 for 0.
Yeah, the other thing...
Oh, mid lane, CCNC.
Raises.
He's getting dove upon Arbed. He's looking for the raise. He's not going to be able to find it.
Ring around the Rosie.
He's hiding CCNC, and he's actually going to be able to live there. As Arbed, he zips in with a haste, but can't quite find the kill. Top lane, bit of an attempt being made onto DJ, and that will be your first blood. They'll now turn towards Envy. Has he got Shikuchi back up anytime
2 more
soon?
seconds.
He does.
1 more second.
He's not going to make it away.
Wow.
The fade time was too long, and OpTic, they get both kills out of this top lane. I mean, this Weaver lane is getting absolutely crushed.
Oh my gosh. That is a dream start for a Razor and a Tusk lane. Vengeful Spirit we've been seeing prove to be a fairly dominant laner, but that's always assuming you get an early head start. We've seen Lil run it with General Slardar, and Na'Vi had a lot of success with it, but this is not the kind of situation you want to be in.
Envy massively struggling against this Zai 33 dual lane. Seems like DJ just can't do enough really to keep the pressure off his Weaver and get the space that Envy needs.
And in the previous series, Adam was pretty intent on sticking around with Universe for the majority of the game, but here he feels obligated to come up to this top lane. I mean, he's hit level 2, he's got Ensnare and Riptide, but 33 is not afraid at all. You may be able to discourage him from going for CS a little bit, but if Naga Siren ever leaves, the kill potential still remains.
Seeing the mid lane at the moment, 22 for 3 on Arbed compared to the 18 for 5 on CCNC. Very, very close between the two, just there. Slight expected lead here for the Shadow Fiend.
DD room picked up by Zai in the mid lane. But he sees Abed, or rather Naga sees Abed. I mean, Naga sees Zai.
Zai will give Adam a bit of a rundown here with the double damage. But DJ is there to make sure that Zai can't go any further. And in fact, they will try and turn, make a bit of a play. Zai does have the snowball, but is going to pop it before the magic missile's there. So DJ does still have the punch to help out. And Arbed, he's going to come in for the glory. Nice turnaround there from Fnatic to punish Zai's movements and get a bit of a bonus for the mid SF.
And Abed's doing quite well in this lane. Already cleared the hump of not having the initial damage against the Death Prophet.
And Universe tried to get aggressive onto PPD. Lycan's going to rush forward with a heal bomb. There's enough burst to stop him from TPing away. Up top, Envy slowly starting to get some more CS out of this lane, but still in the overall picture, as you can see, he is suffering about a third of the CS of PyCat on the other side of the map.
And 2 levels down. Right now 33 is level 5, Envy's level 3 right now.
They're trying to do their best, Fnatic, to recover this lane. As you say, they are keeping DJ and Adam firmly sat up here by the side of Envy.
And that means that PPD is free to go for a rotation on this Shadow Fan. Not the easiest maneuver. Snowball on the top
They're going to get the kill. Straight in. Can they find the return kill, though, Fnatic? They'll look towards 33. He's got the static link off, and in fact, he's looking to try and move it onto Adam, forces Adam to back off. And again, they're killing this.
He wants it.
He is. He's trying to look for the wraparound behind the tower. Is he going to be able to find it?
One more right quick.
Envy is back. And Adam does have a salve. 33 will try for the TP, but the net is there. 33, he's trying to get out of this one, but it looks like he dove just a little bit too far, as Fnatic are able to get quite a valuable kill there. 33 being punished for his greed.
And Envy, luckily his Swarm Beetle ends up getting the kill, so he gets the gold for that. Unfortunately, well, actually, and a result of him getting the kill, he also gets the experience, so very fortunate for Weaver.
Bottom lane, Pycat continuing to put the pressure in. Universe is getting a similar amount of farm out of this lane as 33 is. But certainly is not able to sort of have the same impact in terms of slowing down the enemy position one, as we can see as Pycat coming up to 7 minutes in, coming up to 50 CS. He's pretty much getting perfect CS on that bottom lane. Top lane, never attempt onto Zai. He's got the snowball. 33 heading forward, looking for the static link onto Adam. He will be held back for a little bit by the magic missile of DJ, but DJ's going to get turned upon. He'll get taken down. Envy does have a Shikuchi to get himself away as PPD comes into the lane to help out. But OpTic just making sure that they come out on top of every little fight up here. Zai tries for the shot. Zai is pretty low here. He's trying to fight up against him. He knows he's got PPD's heal, and there is indeed a grave to buy some time for Zai.
He's got 17 sick
charges.
He does.
He can maybe try and turn with this one as he baited Envy forward. They'll look for the easier kill though as they turn towards Adam, surrounding the Naga Siren. Zai gets the heal from PPD. As OpTic bait Fnatic into that extra bit of action and ends up in them getting themselves another kill for 33.
Razor's going to be a real problem. And I imagine part of the reason why they picked this Weaver specifically is because they're like, oh, okay, let's pick someone who doesn't really care about static link because we can break it very easily. But you still got to make it through the early game. You still got to stay in lane whenever your Shikuchi has like a fairly long cooldown. And Envy's not level 6 yet, so he can't even afford to play aggressively and try to force the Razor out of lane and then time-lapse to recover. So things are starting out very slowly for him, whereas Pycat is getting a whole hell of a lot on this Phantom Lancer in the bottom lane. 59 last hits, 17 denies.
A much sort of smoother opening for OpTic Gaming compared to game one, where Fnatic were able to find the lead early on and were able to maintain it right through to the end. This time round, OpTic have been able to answer the lanes of Fnatic, at least specifically in that top lane, having an answer to Envy's Weaver. As we'll have to see how Envy is able to climb his way back into this game on a Weaver that's very underfarmed off the back of the lanes.
Picks up a bottle in the Radiant secret shop on the Weaver, but it's all happening far slower than he would want. And I'm very curious what his build is going to be this game. I had mentioned the Maelstrom. There are a lot of different ways you can go. You can go Medallion, as now Exorcism is popped on the mid lane. You can go Desolator, you can go Diffusal Blade. There are a lot of options. If he wants to go the most defensive, he can go for like Dragonlance Pike, or just the Dragonlance, but we'll see.
TP into the mid lane is coming from DJ. Adam there as well. He's going to throw the route out onto CC&C. It's a very hard target to go on though, as they will immediately back off. OpTic are able to continue to push in onto this tier 1. Fortification comes out from Fnatic. And an extra TP now in from Universe. He has the Roar ready. He's going to pop the Requiem here on the side, Arbed. They've got the Magic Missile down, but now with the Snowball, they'll turn in. Universe does manage to get the Roar onto the Death Prophet. They bursted down one. Can they get CC&C as well?
Oh, the miss.
Uphill miss is going to buy him some chance, but there's the route. They've got themselves both. Universe with the perfect TP rotation, coming in with that level 6. He's now level 7. But he has that Roar. He's able to find that opening, and they time it perfectly as well after the heals kicked in from the Exorcism, and there's not enough save from OpTic to keep those two heroes alive.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, OpTic, we're hoping that that whole engagement would have happened like 3 seconds earlier, but great choice of priority of targets. They net not the Death Prophet. They wait for everything to time out. Once the ghosts come back in, Universe comes in and roars them, and 2 kills.
And they do keep that tier 1 tower alive for now. So OpTic weren't quite able to finish it off there with that first use of the Exorcism.
And Abed's going to be going for the Blink Yules build. Right now he's got the Yules, already has the Voidstone completed, got the rest of the Yules queued up, and we've been seeing mixed results with this item build. The most common critique is whenever you manage to hit late game, then you oftentimes struggle to be useful. Much like how we saw the Templar Assassin in Game 1. As now Fnatic smoke up, and I don't believe it was in vision of this Radiant Ward in the middle of the lane, and they're going to head top. Beastmaster is TPing, and Roar is available.
Let's see what Universe can find. He's looking to open up onto PyCat. PyCat quick with the Doppelganger. Starts to back himself away. Universe is going to look towards a different target. He's found 33. He's got Envy there ready as well to focus down the Razor. 33 pops the Eye of the Storm, pops the stick charges, but surely he can't keep himself alive. As Universe punching him down, chopping him up with these axes, gets the kill, and at the same time, you had Arbed coming in and able to find PPD. So again, Fnatic making these smart rotations, Universe leading the charge each and every time and having an incredible impact with these early Primal Roars.
He's having an impact in terms of kills, but the objectives are basically untouched. All these tier 1 towers on the side of OpTic Gaming are basically near full HP, and like I said, with Abed going for this Blink Yules build, your late game suffers. Phantom Lancer, far better in the late game compared to any of these Fnatic heroes. And so the movements are great, and the kills are also very effective, but OpTic still have a 2k net worth advantage right now.
It has sort of sat at that 2k for quite some time now, though, as Fnatic are able to stop that lead from growing for now. A couple more big pickoffs with the Primal Roar when it's back up. That will help them. In fact, they are going to be able to find PPD on the side. He's got a shallow grave to buy some time for himself. And doesn't even need it, as Adam will back away as soon as 33 heads over on the Razor. PyCat getting the space to finish off that tower, and I believe that is the full Diffusal Blade now complete and on its way towards PyCat's PL.
Envy's kind of lingering down here. Might find the Courier.
One
Shield.
more. He's not going to. He might be able to continue to search for it. See if the Courier micro is going to be enough. Envy chasing.
Dude, Zai, he's kind of baiting the Courier. He's like, if Envy shows up, as Vengeful Spirit does go down in the top lane to the Diffusal Blade of PyCat. But, I mean, this is a lot of time that Envy is spending not farming, which is understandable. He doesn't really have anywhere safe to farm, as now Adam gets cancelled.
Yep, tries for the TP out. A quick snowball from Zai is there to hold him down.
Exorcism popped. Let's take another tower.
They're getting these objectives at a very good pace here, OpTic Gaming. At the same time, Universe will find the space down bottom as he continues to be incredibly farmed on this Beastmaster. Third highest net worth. We saw this really in Game 1 as well on his Pango. Universe is having some very good games of Dota 2 today.
He is, and so is Abed. Abed has been crushing the CS. He's completed the Yules, but the problem is that the game is transitioning in such a way that I'm pretty sure he was ideally going to go for the Blink after completing the Yules, but right now he has BKB queued up. And that's because they have lost 4 towers right now at 13 minutes into the game. Envy has pretty much nothing completed. He has Aquila and Power Treads, and there's nowhere safe for him to farm on the map. Instead, they're giving farm priority to Beastmaster so that Universe can complete the Shadow Blade, and like I said, which he does have completed, and then start creating chaos around the map, try to draw focus away from Envy's farming spots.
33 just pushing Envy away from that area of the map. Do have OpTic starting to move over. You had Arbad, he was standing on the high ground, seeing if he'd get a chance for a Requiem for someone to walk into, but it wasn't going to be the case.
Universe bottles an Invis rune and immediately TPs to the shrine up top. But PyCat's playing it safe. He ends up hiding. And we'll see if PyCat shows himself, because
it would be a big catch for Universe to find yet again. If they do get this PL, he's keeping himself in the trees. And he did, indeed. He's out of there, out to safety. And we'll see if Arbet follows with this, but I do sort of like this adaptation to the Yules build. Going for the Yules and then the BKB, rather than the Yules Blink, as
it's less all-in.
It is. It's a less all-in on the flashiness, and you are suddenly able to more reliably offer more if it's a situation where it's not you just jumping in and looking for one quick pick-off, but a situation in which you're fighting against numerous enemies.
Yeah. As CCNC does not have his Yules completed yet on the Death Prophet, and yet they're still going for this push. Exorcism is still down for another 15 seconds, but they're not going to commit for it hard, as the rest of Fnatic, Envy, and Beastmaster are going to claim this tier 1 tower in the offlane.
Yeah, slowly but surely getting Envy involved in these objectives, allowing him to climb back up the net worth, as he is now ahead at that 33 Razor that was crushing him in the lane. He's made the recovery, Envy. And
poor Beastmaster. OpTic are playing so well against this Shadow Blade of the Beastmaster. They're constantly staying grouped up, and whoever is away from the fight, namely Pycat, is playing very, very conservatively. Also, it's hard as hell as a Beastmaster to gank a Phantom Lancer. You basically have to find him like in between doppelgangers as the shards almost catches out Envy.
Yeah, Zai trying for a bit of an ambitious play. Maybe if the shards did catch, he would have had a chance, but still time-lapse was available for Envy if he needed to. And he's able to quickly Shakuchi himself up out of the distance of OpTic Gaming's initiation.
The panel had mentioned that early Roches would be valuable for Fnatic, but they compromised so much map control that really OpTic Gaming are in a much better position to take Roche, which they're going to smoke up now. And they know that there are some dire heroes on the bot side as now smoke pops on Zai. He finds Adam.
Oh, Adam. He's got the song. Those shards are going to hold him in. He'll go for the TP out. He's going to make it in time. He is. Just enough time, the duration of that song after being initially stunned to get himself out of there.
In the top. One more attack, and he gets it.
Pycat. He's going to look to try and punch back in.
On bot lane, 33.
Universe.
Roared.
Yeah, finding that raw target.
All right, things are happening. You're spreading OpTic Gaming out, and that's what you need to do if you're Fnatic.
Yeah, they're evening the playing field. Even, as we can see here, 8 for 7. 17 minutes in. Just less than a 1k lead hit for Fnatic.
Oh, Universe goes for the TP, and they don't have any cancel. The Yules.
They do. CCSC's got it out on him now. They'll hold Universe down. And we'll be able to find another kill for Pycat, keeping him just at the top of the net worth on his PL here. But already just a much closer game than game one in terms of the numbers at least. As both teams are showing us they have these methods of pushing and getting these pickoffs. But definitely the most important thing, as it seems, is overall that there is this sort of recovery being made by Fnatic where MV is finding the space. He's starting to catch him in farm modes. There's still a long way for him to go in terms of catching up to Pycat's farm on the PL.
Yeah.
But he isn't sort of as in a dire of a state as he was in the early laning stage.
No, definitely not. Although the one big advantage of Fnatic would have been an early Roche. OpTic are going to claim it first.
Fnatic do have illusions there, and they'll know it's on for sure, but
Naga's
no
song
way
is
of getting
still
up.
down. Otherwise, I think they may have gone for it, but Adam had to use it to save himself from that ancient attempt.
And the build from CCC will be the Yules into the Blink Dagger by the looks of it, as he does have the money to pick up that Blink Dagger. And almost certainly just waiting once again for the Exorcism to be back up, and then we'll see OpTic try to pressure another tier 2 tower. Keep that momentum going against Fnatic's lineup, making sure that Fnatic themselves don't get a chance to really step things up with the push that Universe's Beastmaster is going to be soon able to offer to even more as he's starting to build into those Necro books.
And in this situation, it may be more split push oriented. I think despite Abed going for this early BKB, I think it's more like a contingency thing. I don't think Shadow Fiend is going to finish off this BKB and then immediately want to join into 5-man team fights. If Universe finds a roar target, then Abed will join in. But the 5-man from OpTic Gaming is just far stronger. You've got Save with the Snowball on Tusk and the Grave on Dazzle, and Weave is just very, very difficult for a Weaver to deal with. And still, Envy has not yet completed any major item. He's working his way to that Lincoln Sphere and has the money for the ultimate orb, but we'll still have to finish off the recipe afterwards.
We'll see what they find with this smoke. They're back up behind Envy, sort of hoping for a bit of a bait play from the side of OpTic, but OpTic, they have no interest in heading up towards Envy at the moment. They themselves just looking to prime themselves for pushing out potentially this bottom lane.
Yeah, they've had minimal interest in Envy ever since the laning phase, which I think is the perfect way to take it. Envy is playing in such a way that he's like, hey guys, look at me. I'm farming in your secret shop. Oh, you gotta stop me. And OpTic's like, it doesn't really matter. You're fine. You can do whatever you want. We shut you down hard enough in the laning phase that we know it's gonna take you forever before you actually feel confident joining into the game.
Interesting here that Pycat is queuing up the Silver's Edge after the Diffusal and SMY on the PL.
Yeah, there are a few things you can break. The presence of the Dark Lord on the Shadow Fiend, the Inner Beast on the Beastmaster, and then if you manage to kill off the Venge, she won't be able to summon Vengeance Aura if you kill her
Oh,
during the
that
break.
could be actually quite annoying, yeah. That is true.
Also, it's a pretty solid split pushing item.
Yeah.
Phantom Lancer has kind of fallen off the map in terms of like the old days of picking up Diffusal or Radiance and just split pushing a lane for years, but he's still very, very strong at it with the right itemization.
Now comes the push from OpTic. On the bottom lane, committing with the Exorcism. They've got the boosted armor. On Dazzle, quick swap play is attempted by DJ, but DJ just gets turned upon. Ripped to pieces straight away by OpTic's lineup.
Very quick blink reaction from CCNC. He read that for sure.
And that's going to be a tier 3, and the React's in trouble. It's 21 minutes in, OpTic.
See, now this is how you push. This is how you take objectives. This is how you spend high cooldown spells like Exorcism. Age is still preserved, and a whole lot of focus drawn, but Fnatic want to do something. They didn't all come here for nothing.
They are looking to strike back off the back of the Exorcism wearing off. See what sort of target Universe can find. He's found CCNC. They're going to go for the Song. They are trying to go for the Song into Requiem, but again, I mean, CCNC's just going to be able to blink out of there. They will be able to continue to chase, but he's pretty speedy with the phasing Yules. Are they not even going to get this kill?
That was definitely a mistake.
Oh, they're not going to get it.
Envy should have been Sakuchi'd underneath the Death Prophet to make sure that she couldn't blink out. She doesn't have any raindrops or anything, but...
Oh my goodness.
And now she has a Yules. She can cancel out Abed.
I mean, she's jumping forward. CCNC. He's looking to go in, but now Abed's got the BKB in the ult. And oh, CCNC the save. The Snowball's going to buy him some time. They're trying to chase. Looks like the route will stop Dazzle from getting close enough to get the Grave off. He'll turn towards Zai. Can Fnatic get more out of this? They've lost the Naga Siren, but Envy, he's bringing them low. They'll be able to get Zai. They've found 2 out of this. The swap's there onto 33. 33's got the static link onto DJ, but Universe comes back in. They're looking to bring down this race, and they will. They'll find themselves at 30. Fnatic, Pycat's focusing DJ. Can Pycat clean up?
He's still got Aegis.
He's looking towards Universe. Universe goes for the TP out, but the oh, that heal bomb. My goodness, he's going to set up for a triple kill for Pycat. He's not done yet, potentially. He'll doppelganger himself down. Can Envy and Abed finish off this kill? They can.
That's number 1. Can he do number 2?
That's the question. He's got none of his teammates alive, Pycat. He's looking to play around with Abed. He's jumping forward aggressively with the doppelganger. He's got the diffusal blade. No, Abed's in trouble.
Yules.
Abed has been taken out, and Pycat, I mean, at the end of that, he is going to be over the moon. He got 4 kills, then he died, and then he got another kill.
I mean, he got 682 gold just from killing the Shadow Fiend. What a way to spend your Aegis.
I mean, it all looked like it was going to go perfectly for Fnatic. They got themselves in at the start. They were able to sort of remain elusive with Envy, Shakuchiing about, keeping the distance. But at the end of the day, OpTic, even though, I mean, at the start of that fight, they pretty much, they lost everyone. Everybody died on OpTic if you count the Aegis on Pycat.
Right.
And now suddenly they're straight back in. They're the ones pushing back into the base of Fnatic.
And
there's no,
dead.
yeah, for 20 seconds. So it's going to be at least another tier 3 gone. With the Exorcism up, they may be even able to push for more OpTic.
Yeah, and when he comes back, he's not going to have very many souls. Exorcism still has time left on it, 12 seconds.
Being a little careful now, 5 seconds until the SF's back in.
Beastmaster does have Roar.
DJ actually tried for the TP out, but Pycat's just going to run into him and kill him. DJ has to buy back. It's going to be the jump forward, Abed looking for the Yule setup. Shards won't catch onto Abed. He looks towards 33 with the raises, but straight away again, they focus him down. They take down Envy. Envy buys back time lapses into the middle of the fight, looks towards 33. Abed puts the Requiem. Will hold OpTic back, but again, OpTic, they're not losing anyone off the back of this. This is 2 buybacks from Fnatic.
You don't buy back for giggles, you buy back for kills.
Abed's trying to get in with the raises, but again, the heal from PPD onto 5, keeping OpTic topped up. That's sustained, buying extra save. 33 does get swapped in, they've got the stun. Graves going to be there, 33 going for the TP out. They got any way to cancel it, they have. The root's there from Adam. They'll at least be able to find 33 on his Razor. Can they get more? The rest of OpTic retreating. Quick blink out from Zai will keep the distance, and OpTic, they get away with it. They weren't quite able to finish off that mid-melee racks.
No.
But again, just being able to keep themselves ahead of Fnatic in these fights.
2 buybacks, man, one on the Weaver, one on the Vengeful Spirit, and these are expensive buybacks. We know that DJ likes to play very, very farm-oriented. He's got the medallion completed on this Vengeful Spirit, but just being able to kill the Razor out of that is not nearly enough because they can't claim any objectives afterwards either. So you bought back, you didn't really win the team fight, and you're not going to be able to push anything. You're not going to be able to take any Roches. It's very, very difficult right now for Fnatic to make use of these heroes. Like Abed, the BKB was absolutely necessary, as you can see after that Eul's, but now you're wondering what the hell is the Eul's really doing right now? He's got the Blink completed now, though, so he's got the full combo potential. And Phantom Lancer is not really a BKB builder, so if you manage to blow him up, it would be great. It worked very well on CCNC. Zai attempted for that snowball save. I don't know if like Zai was like spam right-clicking, but I mean that's one of the first times I've ever seen that attempt to save a target who's getting comboed by Shadow Fiend like that. So I don't know if it's even possible or not. But whatever the case, like you will have tools to prevent that combo from going off, as now 33 is working his way to his BKB on the Razor.
Yeah, CCNC has Eon Disc now complete as well, so that extra bit of save if the sort of burst play is attempted.
Right.
A 5k lead for OpTic Gaming at the moment. HiCap still very much the top of this net worth again, farming his heart out.
And Roche has a respawn time of 5 seconds. And Fnatic are grouping up, making sure there's no vision inside of their jungle. And they have a smoke on DJ. There's a ton of sentry wards in the side of Dire.
Yeah, they've also got the level 3 Necro book on Universe as well.
And they smoke up. Roche is up. Don't know
That
if
scan.
either team knows.
OpTic Gaming know that this movement's coming in. The scan connects. They know that something's heading over.
I got Shadow Blades away.
And with that, Fnatic, they will reveal Envy.
They think Envy is alone.
BKB is now on 33. They're going to use the song here. Trying to set things up. The Roar on the side. They're trying for the burst, but again, the snowball save. It's going to buy some time here for 33 to pop the BKB. Tries for the standing in, but look at the right click's coming out. 33 falling over the Shadow Graves there in time. Buying some save for him. He tries with the TP with the root. It's there to hold him down. 33 in trouble and will lose his life. Fnatic find one. They get the swap back onto PPD, but the armor's starting to build up here for PPD. The buyback's there from Zaya. Wants to get involved in this fight, but Pycat, he's the one cleaning up. Moving from target to target now. Godlike on his Phantom Lancer as he takes down DJ as well. Looking towards Envy. Envy trying to secure your way. He does have time lapse available if needed. He's into the trees. He should be fine as he bottles himself up and can keep the distance. So this time around, it is, well, OpTic, they do expend the buyback on Zai. That was a fight where they did use the Exorcism, and it wasn't necessarily a clean win for OpTic. Fnatic were able to get those kills in return. They were able to bring down 33 despite the attempt to save him with the Grave, with his BKB. They can still punch through that Razor.
Yeah, and they can also punch through Roche on the side of OpTic Gaming even without that Exorcism. It's going to take a while, and Beastmaster is up.
Envy has been silenced. There won't be any sort of further lockdown to hold him down. But yeah, as you say, so the buyback from Zion such that fight as a whole, not necessarily amazing for OpTic. If anything, you could argue Fnatic would come out top, but with the Roche going the way of OpTic as well, the overall play works out, because well, this is the second Roche?
Yeah, it has cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would say that's pretty heavily in favor of the side of OpTic, because Pycat just continues to not die. And, like, Phantom Lancer is going to outcarry everyone on the side of Fnatic. Abed has basically been relegated to a Requiem machine, because I imagine that they sang, and then Abed was clicking on everyone. He was just like, well, I can't kill Razor, because he's going to have a BKB. I can't kill the Death Prophet, because she has an Eon Disc. And then they ended up roaring, I believe it was either the Dazzle or the Tusk. It was the Dazzle, because Tusk ended up saving the Dazzle. And, I mean, it's just too difficult to find someone to solo down with this Requiem combo.
I see the movement being made here from Fnatic to leave the base. Come in with a wrap around. This could be hard, though. The Aegis and Cheese in the hands of OpTic. Aegis on Pycat. CCNC, he has got the Ghost. Yeah. Can Fnatic find a quick pick-off to begin the fight? DJ, looking for a swap target. He's going to find CCNC, but straight away the Eul's up into the airs there. CCNC will be able to buy himself time, comes down, gets picked up in the snowball. Zai tries to take him towards Universe, but Universe keeps the distance, tries to have the silences there from CCNC, but here's the song. There's 3 heroes here. Can they find the combo? Meteor Hammer and Abed in the midst of it. Have they got the timing? it's not kind of perfect, but it might still just work. They'll look towards CCNC. 33's been robbed, but he has the grave. PPD will save him. And Pycat, he's moving from target to target. He's taken down DJ, he's taken down Envy. They've lost Universe as well. They tried for the combo there, Fnatic. It didn't quite work out. OpTic Gaming are able to keep themselves alive, and Pycat is just a nightmare to deal with at this stage. This PL, just target to target, ripping them to pieces. 3 heroes dead on Fnatic, no buyback available, and GG will be called. We're going to a game 3.
It could have been amazing, but recently it was patched out that you couldn't instantly Meteor Hammer someone after the song. They will be able to BKB in between. Eon Disc would have been guaranteed to go off, and this is the problem with the combo of Shadow Fiend. You're very, very one-dimensional, and if you're not able to utilize the entire combo, then it's a whole bunch of net worth that's doing pretty much nothing on the side of a Shadow Fiend, and Weaver was just so far behind that there's no way that Envy could have done any amount of damage to recover that.
No, absolutely, yeah. But considering the fact he's playing against this Dazzle, PPD consistently keeping the armor built up with the ultimate. Some fantastic saves from Zai. And Pycat, again, just these really solid carry performances. His PL just uncontrollable, really, that game. Despite, we saw Universe have a very good opening. He got this fantastic timing on the Shadow Blade, made some very high impact rotations with the Roar early on, but it just wasn't enough to sort of propel Fnatic to the point where they're able to just deal with the overall lineup of OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, it's to an extent, it's almost kind of easy to read OpTic Gaming. Like, you always know what type of hero Pycat's going to play. He's going to play some hero that hits creeps for a very long time. It's like he hits Lunas, his Morphlings, his Phantom Lancers, his Terrorblades. But the way that OpTic Gaming itemize is always the special sauce that makes it so difficult to be able to take advantage of these predictions of heroes.
Wow. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting a game 3.
At least this one was kind of short.
Out of these two teams,
31 minutes.
It was a bit of a change up in pace, and just sort of looking forward to game 3. What do you think Fnatic can take away from that game and sort of say to themselves, this didn't work out?
Give Envy a more stable laner, because I think 33 will abuse Envy if given the proper matchup. And this one, like the Weaver matchup, in theory, I thought is what they were going for with the Weaver. They were like, oh, okay, well, we can break the static link. It's going to be okay. But it ended up being given to 33, and Weaver was just never allowed to enter the game.
No, not at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, game 3 between OpTic Gaming and Fnatic will be right round the corner. Don't go anywhere, though, because we are going to head you back to the panel for some post-game 2 analysis.
Yes, OpTic indeed forced out that third game there by taking the victory against Fnatic. It is 1-1 here in the semifinals, the second semifinals even. VGJ Thunder is already waiting for their opponent, and at this point, OpTic is making a great case for themselves to join them there, because Fnatic, I don't know, it seemed like that 17-minute game before this one kind of wore them down a little bit, Naz.
Yeah, I think that such a marked contrast between games 1 and game 2, where Fnatic have this gigantic net worth lead in game 1. OpTic never really had that big a lead in that game, but were applying continuous pressure to objectives around the map. It felt like Universe was really farmed early, but once they knocked Abed out of that pure caster build on the SF, there was really no follow-up to the Beastmaster Aurora to threaten heroes on the side of OpTic.
Yeah, Pycat had a field day as well, of course.
Yeah, I said before this series even started that Pycat's performance has been pretty amazing throughout the past 3 months, and he's showing it that he's not gonna play any bad games. I think he died he didn't even die this game. I mean, he had the Dazzle behind him, so that's one way not to die, but his positioning and itemization was on point, getting that Shadow Blade and SNY after just a tank up, and they can't really kill him. I probably underestimated the lineup of Fnatic and how good of Phantom Lancer game this is gonna be. Also, I gotta give credit to CCNC about his itemization, Eon Disc, just to keep him alive. So you can't really focus anyone. They have 2 saves, you have a Snowball, you have a Shallow Grave, Eon Disc, Doppelganger, not enough damage to take them down. Maybe their top lane could have been played a bit better with the Ruby and Weaver, and
Oh, it's tough.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was really tough. Like you
I-
couldn't really feel the influence of Weaver. He was trying to creep skip the waves, get some split push going on.
Yeah.
But the problem is that when
Exactly
you have a
when you're talking about.
when you have a Beastmaster who goes for a Shadow Blade, then you already have one Invis hero. Once they group up, you're gonna have a hard time initiating those fights. Yes, it's good for the pick-off on the side lane, it's good for the split pushing, but I'm not ever a big fan of two Invis heroes.
Yeah, I think the common denominator really between the two games is the opponent
Also,
underestimating
huge
the
mistake
strength
here.
of the two. But yeah, the 2-1-2 set that should have been a roar and probably a kill there. But the side lanes were just tremendously strong from OpTic, and you could see Fnatic didn't really have any moves to make in the early games to stabilize those lanes.
Yeah, Wenge is not a strong support on the lane. You need to make a rotation with position 4 hero to actually get the kills. Naga didn't really feel the influence, and she was not on the top lane at the start.
This is the only time Pyke
went-
died, by
yeah.
the way. But he has an Aegis, so it doesn't really matter. And he managed to get a
That-
kill
that
off the back
counts,
of him
yep.
as well.
Yeah,
Such a crazy fight this was.
Yeah, and look at this. I
should've
keep
backed.
coming back to this 1K. That's the net worth lead of OpTic at this point. They are fighting on even net worth, but because the Weaver takes so long to get to his Lincolns, he doesn't have any damage at this point.
Well, they did good with the sieging tier 3 tower with the Dead Prophet ulti, and they're not afraid using Doppelganger just to provide them vision in the fights and for extra tower damage. And Pycat positioning was extremely well. Also that siege at tier 3, the swap into, I don't know what that was supposed to be, not the best, which led into losing the Raxes. I mean, I guess they were just trying to zone out, kill one hero with the roar, but they don't have enough burst damage. Dazzle, if he's positioned well, he's gonna keep casting those graves, and nothing's gonna happen. You're definitely losing
Yep.
those fights.
Tsunami mentioned the special sauce of OpTic was itemization.
Yeah.
Would you
I think
agree
saw
there?
that. He also mentioned, by the way, a little shout out to him, good catch on the versatility of Abed. That was his 10th different hero in 10 games here
Yeah.
at the event. So
All
the
right.
young player really showing it off. But can you argue with this? Absolutely not. Yeah, the more I think about this, we talked a little bit earlier about how Fnatic has been putting DJ on these more 5-position heroes like the Witch Doctor, like the Warlock that we've seen him on, like the Vengeful Spirit in this game, that scale with items.
Yes.
But as a result, he's very static in the early game. He's scaling with items as the game goes on, and he's looking impressive in the mid game, but he doesn't really have these moves that he can make in the mid game, in the early game, like he did when they were having him on a roaming Tusk. And that's making Fnatic feel much more passive in the laning stage.
Yeah, I feel like Tusk is his best hero, and they should use him, given that initiator, that controlling team fight hero that has a save, sanking with the 4-staff fuel scepter. He knows how to use the items and sees pretty much the whole fight.
So was this a drafting error, laning error, outplayed?
I
What's the
think
verdict?
I think the Weaver pick was a bit of a misstep. I think they overestimated how well Weaver was going to be able to do in lanes, and I do feel like they need to give DJ a playmaker, not just a playmaker when he gets an Aghanim Scepter or a Blink Dagger,
Sure.
but a playmaker that he can influence the game, start influencing the game from minute 0.
Would you consider the Witch Doctor to be playmaker then, like the
No.
one that he had in? Because
No.
so you want them to switch back, basically.
I want to see them go back, unless I think it's fine to put DJ on a more static laning support when you have the core matchup advantages in at least 2 out of the 3 lanes. But
All right.
when you're not as confident in your lanes, or when you think you're going to break even in the lanes, I want to see DJ on a hero that can affect the balance of power early.
All right, well, let's see who's going to affect the balance of power in game number 3. But before we head to that third game, we will have a short break. We'll be right back.